just, yep, you're there, okay.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Do you have a quorum, Kathy?
I do, so we are,
Excellent.
so I am going to call,
Chair, I can't hear you for some reason, I don't know why.
that's not usually said much about me, but okay,
Yeah,
how about
no,
that?
we can hear you. And we will mute
Okay.
so you can speak.
Okay, so I'm going to call the House Committee on Special Legislation Committee to order. The date is Monday, March 15th. The time
Probably.
is close to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll call you
Anthony,
back.
could we have a roll
I'm
call,
just in a Zoom
please?
meeting, I'll call you right back after the meeting.
Roll call, Anthony.
Chairwoman Fogarty.
Here.
First Vice Chair Diaz. Second Vice Chair Hawkins.
Present.
Representative Alzate.
Here.
Representative Azanaro.
Here.
Representative Casey. Representative Fenton Fung.
Present.
Representative Giraldo. Representative Henrys.
Present.
Representative Kazarian.
Here.
Representative Kislak.
Here.
Representative Lombardi. Representative
Present.
Lombardi.
Present here.
Present, sorry.
Representative Perez. Representative Price. And Representative Ruggiero.
Here.
We do have a quorum, Chair.
I think Representative Price is here, he just has to unmute. He was just speaking a minute ago.
Oh, he was
Oh.
speaking?
Yes, that's correct, thank you, Chairman.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, if we look over our agenda, we have House Bill 5621, 5783, 6043, 6044, 6109, 6120, that I'm going to ask for motion to hold for further study.
Motion.
So moved.
So moved?
Second.
Seconded?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We have a roll call on that. Anthony?
Chairwoman Fogarty.
Aye.
First Vice Chair Diaz. Second Vice Chair Hawkins.
Aye.
Representative Alzate.
Aye.
Representative Azanaro.
Yes.
Representative Casey. Representative Fenton Fung.
Aye.
Representative Giraldo. Representative Henrys.
Aye.
Representative Kazarian.
Yes.
Representative Kislak.
Yes.
Representative Lombardi.
Oh.
Representative Lombardi.
Sorry, again, yes.
Representative Perez. Representative Price. Representative Ruggiero.
Aye.
We have
Okay.
10 in favor, 0 against.
Okay, great, thank you. Karen, can you work on the solemnization of marriages, please?
Yes.
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 We're going to go move to the solemnization of marriages. I have Representative Alzate is going to make a motion.
Make a motion to pass House Bill 6109, House Bill 6120, and House 6130.
Okay, it's been moved, is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. We will make a roll call vote on moving these solemnization marriage acts to the floor.
Chairwoman Fogarty.
Aye.
First Vice Chair Diaz. Second Vice Chair Hawkins.
Aye.
Representative Alzate.
Aye.
Representative Azanaro.
Aye.
Representative Casey. Representative Fenton Fung.
Aye.
Representative Giraldo. Representative Henrys.
Aye.
Representative Kazarian.
Aye.
Representative Kislak.
Yes.
Representative Lombardi.
Yes,
Representative Perez. Representative Price.
aye.
Representative Ruggiero.
Aye.
Okay,
We have 11 in favor, 0 against.
great, thank you. Okay, so the solemnization of marriage acts move on to the floor. First, we'll be hearing from Representative Phillips on House Bill 5783. Representative Phillips has joined us this evening, and he will take the podium to tell us about his bill. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you, committee, for listening. House Bill H5783, which is a special license plate for the Ancient Order of Free and Accepted Masons, or the Freemasons, as most people know. This bill I've brought before, we passed on the floor the last 3 years, and for some reason the Senate just hasn't taken it up, whether they've had time or we passed it over. One year we passed it over like 2 weeks before we adjourned for the year, and they didn't have time to take it up. So I'm submitting it again on behalf of the Grand Lodge of Rhode Island Masons. And we do have a written testimony from the Division of Motor Vehicles, and I will just speak about two different portions of that. But what this does is it allows the Masons, who is the only organization in the world that gives $3.5 million a day to charity. And yes, I repeat, $3.5 million per day. Because if you know anything about the Freemasons and their offshoots, the Shriners are also part. So all of the Shriner burn centers throughout the country is part of the Freemasons. So that's why we are very proud, and I am a very proud member of that organization, as well as there are some other members of our House and over on the Senate side that are members. The two parts that I want to bring up for the Division of Motor Vehicles is the fact that they were asking to have any monies that is raised from the Department of Motor Vehicles and the selling of the plates to be used and sourced for the benefit of Rhode Islanders, which is exactly what we do. We do not send it outside of our state borders. The Grand Lodge and all of the Masonic lodges have plenty of charities that they give to every year, so this would be not a problem at all. So we can tell you right now there's not going to be an issue with that, doing that. The other thing was I may be asking to do an amendment, and the reason why the amendment that I will like to do is because they want to do 600 sets of plates. Now, each roll of the film that is put on the plates, there are 600 sets in there. If we do 600, and we could possibly get to 600, let's say we do, somebody else, one or two people want to come in, you have to buy another whole roll of that film for 2 sets of plates. So that means you're going to have 598 or 599 sets left over. So if we lower the minimum for all of the specialty plates to 500 plates, sets of plates, that will give them a buffer of 100 sets that they can make in addition to what we have already out there, without having to buy another whole roll and having this Department of Motor Vehicles store all these extra rolls on the shelf until other people need to have plates made. So I'm going to talk to the director of the DMV again and their chief legal counsel and see if we can work out that to have it down to 500 for all of them instead of just this one. I figured that we would be a test case. We get the 500 and we get other people coming in, but I'm getting a feeling from different people that they want to have it consistent, so we'd have to lower all of them from 600 to 500. So I'll talk to the leadership and also talk to Mr. Craddock and Mr. Booth from the DMV. With that, that's all my testimony. If there's any questions, I'll be more happy to try and answer them.
Are there any questions for Representative Phillips? I don't see anybody on the screen here. Nobody in the room. I just saw that, I'm just looking at the end of the letter here, and it's DMV respectfully requests amendments to the proposed bill that sets the minimum prepaid threshold for plate production at 600 sets per plate type. So that was from Bud Craddock.
Correct, but we had had a discussion about possibly doing to 500. He didn't have a problem with it the last couple of years, and now I need to have a new discussion
Okay.
with them to find out
If you
why.
could get it lowered to 500 for everybody, I know he came in at the beginning of the year and he was still talking about 600. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know, it sounds like he's going to probably sit at that 600 threshold, so.
I will be-
If you can get the 500, to 600 or 500, we'll worry about that when we get there.
Yes.
I know
But
a lot of people
I
want the
will-
plates.
I will definitely be having another
Yeah.
discussion with Mr. Craddock personally. He and I have worked very, very well together on other bills to make other business industry is better and more efficient, so I don't see why we can't work well together on this one.
Okay, well, you get back to us. Representative Alzate.
I just have a comment. If we lower it, do you think that we could lower the price too? Because it's so much money.
I know,
No.
this is what happens every time we start
The
to,
price is going to be the same no matter
Yeah.
what, from my understanding, because of the initial cost.
right,
One of the discussions we had is, just to program the computer is like $35,000.
Yeah, it's so much money.
every time, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to say that we're going to lower it. I don't have a problem with the cost it is now, because I know it costs the state a lot of money for the computer time to reprogram it, because they have to put in the design that every organization wants. So it takes a lot of effort and a lot of labor hours. So the cost is not the big issue. It's getting these things out here, letting people know that all these different organizations in the state are there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll have one for the Rotary Club. Maybe the Rotary Club will say, we want to have a special, I don't know. But I'm just saying, we want to have people know that all these different organizations are around, so people can take advantage of the organizations.
Right. I
Yeah,
don't disagree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree as well. Like, I would love that. I would love to give all the plates to all the other, oh my God, all the organizations want, right? Because I think it's wonderful. It just, I mean, it's so much money. That's my only point. It's just so much money, and you know, sometimes a lot of these organizations can't get to 600.
Correct.
So, to your point, it's fair. It's just, you know,
Yeah.
just a comment.
And I can attest right now, without it really putting a huge effort into this, I've already have commitments from between 350 and 400 people right now. So this is how long Massachusetts has got a Masonic plate. Connecticut's got a Masonic plate. There was quite a few states that have it. And again, we're behind the times, but I understand our restrictions in that, and so we're going to try to work through it and see if we can join the rest of the country with this.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, again, any other questions for Representative Phillips? Hearing none and seeing none on the screen.
Thank you, Chairwoman.
I appreciate your time, Representative Phillips, and that will close the hearing on House Bill 5783. And sticking with license plates, I'm going to jump to my bill. I don't mean to be rude, and usually I'll wait till the end, but we're on the topic. I'm going to go to House Bill 6044 by myself, and it's an act relating to motor vehicles and special license plates, and it creates a license plate for the nonprofit Atlantic Shock Institute. And we do have a caller, Mr. John Dodd. Okay. Be calling in for his testimony. If you could just give us one moment, please.
Hello.
Mr. Dodd, hello, how are you? Welcome to the House.
Good, how are you?
Very good. Welcome to the House Committee Special Legislation, and we are looking at House Bill 6044 on your bill for the license plates for the nonprofit Atlantic Shock Institute. If you'd like to tell us about the institute and why you'd like to have the license plates.
Sure. I appreciate the time. Good evening. My name is John Dodd, and I'm the Executive Director of the Atlantic Shark Institute. As you know, we're a 501c3. We're a nonprofit, and we're based down here in South Kingstown. We've got no paid employees, so we rely entirely on donations from the public to run the Institute. You may have heard of us. We're the group that's been announcing all the white shark detection, the great whites around Block Island these last couple of seasons, and Point Judith. We got a couple of detections in 2019, and we detected 9 great whites last year. We've got 13 receivers out in the ocean now. We expect to grow that. And we do shark research. So if you've been on our website, you'll see we've got 7 or 8 research projects going on right now. And the reason for that is basically sharks are in trouble. Over 100 million sharks are killed every year, and that's just not a sustainable number. It's not going to work. And I think it matters because sharks kind of keep the balance in the ocean. And as apex predators, without them, we've got significant issues that I'd be happy to explain in more detail at another time, but they're really critical to the health of our oceans. So our research that we do really aims to shed light on several species, and those are great whites and blue sharks and makos and threshers and pork eagles and others. And the whole goal for us is to aid the management and conservation of these sharks, both in Rhode Island and New England waters. So for us, I think getting a license plate approved would be really important for us, I believe, because I think it would give us some visibility that we don't have today. It would obviously add a revenue stream that we don't currently have and could really use. And I think as the ocean state, it just seems like a natural extension and kind of a cool option for families or, you know, folks to have to put on their vehicles. So, you know, I think that's kind of the encapsulation of what we're all about, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm happy to answer any questions anyone might have about the Institute or anything else you'd like to know about what we're doing. Kathy, I'm not able to hear that. So if that was a
Oh,
question
I'm
for
sorry,
me,
I'm sorry. You know what, I didn't push the button, that's my fault. And I know that you spoke with the DMV regarding the number of plates, the 600 plates that you'd have to get to roll the plates out?
Yeah, I did, and I think that's a good idea because otherwise you'd have a ton of these plates sitting around that no one would buy. So I think that's a challenge for everybody. But I have some ideas and concepts on folks that could help me get there. And but yeah, I'm aware of that and would love the challenge if you guys approve the plate. So
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Dodd, for your testimony. We appreciate it. And seeing that there's no further questions, that will end the testimony this evening.
great, thank you very much.
No problem, thank you. And with that, I will close the testimony on House Bill 6044. Next, we will move on to Representative Norrie, House Bill 5621. I thought I saw him up on the screen. Representative Norrie's bill is regarding motor vehicles, registration of vehicles.
Thank you, Chairwoman. House Bill 5621, this is an easy bill for this evening. I spent much of the afternoon on the phone with the DMV. Again, as Representative Phillips had attested to earlier, the issues with programming for the plates would make this an unsustainable issue to get these plates issued on a permanent basis, although the Civil Air Patrol is included in statute and does not have to pay for their registrations at present, which there is only 10. There's just no way to change the programming, so it was too late in the day for me to withdraw this bill. So again, I would just testify that it's an unsustainable act for the state to have to pay this expense, and my intent is to withdraw this legislation. So thank you for letting me testify.
All right, well, we do have a person who is going to testify on your bill. First off, are there any other questions for Representative Norrie? Yeah, he was just mentioning that, so he was thinking he was withdrawing it. And so this gentleman is not going to be testifying. Okay, all right, so there's no questions for Mr. Norrie from anybody else? So I will close the hearing on House Bill 5621. Okay, next we will move on to Representative Shanley's bill. And this is a House resolution reinstating the life and extending the reporting and expiration dates of the Special Legislation Commission known as the Rhode Island Online Data Transparency and Private Protection Commission. So Representative Shanley had left a message earlier. He's not able to testify, but he just wants to extend the date of the meeting of this commission from February 5th, 2019 to February 5th, 2021, and would expire now on July 5th, 2021. I think they just want to have one more meeting and put their the final notes together on their commission. So I don't know if there's any questions regarding that. Hopefully, I've addressed it. Seeing none, I will end and close the hearing on House Bill 6043. Next, we will move to House Bill number 6109, and this is by Representative Tanzi. I'm not sure if she's calling in or not. Oh, no, that was the marriage one, I'm sorry. Oh, I've already skipped ahead. So actually, we are done. So, we are done. I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you coming out this evening.